All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Clay to pre-qualify leads so you never get an unqualified lead ever again. So before we get into this, my name is Leonardo. I've been responsible for generating over $5.4 million in sales pipeline for clients. Here are some of our case studies. So let's get into this. Basically, this is what I am planning to do in this video. In this video, I'm going to create an entire Clay table, entire Clay workflow to pre-qualify leads based on these criteria. So this is probably going to be a pretty long video because I'm going to walk you through everything that I do to do this pre-qualification table. So with that being said, we're going to pre-qualified leads based on these criteria. So when I'm saying pre-qualified leads is we're going to find some companies, put them in a Clay table, and essentially score them or qualify them based on certain criteria. If they don't pass these criteria and they're disqualified, and we're not going to reach out to them. If they are instead qualified, we are going to reach out to them. And this is basically how you can ensure you will never get an unqualified lead again, right? So we're going to pre-qualify leads based on these criteria. Sales team size, minimum 10 people. We want minimum 10 people on the sales team. Company ad count must be between 100 and 300 people. The company has to have been founded in the last 12 months. The industry of the company has to be technology, SaaS, consulting services, enterprise B2B services, and then they also must be using a CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce, right? So let's get into Clay. I scraped a bunch of companies right here. These are random filters I put just to find a bunch of companies. We're gonna import 500 of these companies. We're gonna do it right now. Import a new table, and we're gonna find these companies right here, right? So as I said, this is gonna be a live Clay workflow build. So I'm not surprised if this goes over 30, 40, 50 minutes of a video. So we have our 500 companies right here. As you can see, Clay has already gotten us the company name. This is supposed to be the company name. We've got the description, which is going to be useful to determine whether they are in one of these industries that I put right here. We also have the primary industry, which is the industry, but I also I always want to make sure the industry is relevant using something like Clayagent to go to the company's website and determine by the company website and also by the description whether the company is relevant to our outreach or not. We also have the size. This is actually in ranges. I want the number, the specific number of employees that I have, the ad count. We have type, which we're not going to use for the sake of this video. We also have location, country, which are all US. So just remove this. The domain is going to be useful. LinkedIn URL page, of course, useful. So let's start with sales team size. We want 10 people minimum on the sales team because this is going to be the criteria that weeds most of these companies out. So let's just do this. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use the find contacts column, say results in this table because we want to find the contacts at these companies, right? So I want to find job title keywords. Job title keywords, I want to find SDR, BDR, sales, representative, business development, representative, salesperson, and then these sort of titles, right? What else? I think we're pretty good, AE as well. I mean, we can do that. Job title, and then I don't want to do the exact match. And then locations, I just want people in the US. Or actually, this is, depends on, this is up to you. Just for the sake of this example, let's just keep it simple. And then only run, well, we're going to run it for all. So we're going to continue to add fields. I don't want to add any fields. I just want to see the number of these people that comes up, right? Because when this runs, we're going to see, as you can see, 4 people found, 8 people found, 1 people found. So basically, once you do this, you will see here, if you click on the column, the number of people he found, right? So it's going to be 4 in this case. Let's just run it for all and see if we can get a 10 minimum. And otherwise, we're just going to lower the number just for the sake of this video, just to have some companies that are qualified. This is, sales team headcount. And then let's just do the rest, right? So company ad count must be between 100 and 300 employees. So we're going to do this. So we have the size, we have the range here, but I want to get a specific number, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to enrich the company with the tagma. Why am I using the tagma? Because the other criteria is going to be found in the last 12 months. And using the tagma, by enriching the company with the tagma, we're going to be able to see funding information for the company as well, right? If I use LinkedIn to enrich the company, we're probably not going to be able to find the funding information. As you can see, like not many companies actually have more than 10 people. Yeah, 10 people here, 11, 17. So maybe what we can do is we can lower that number just to have more companies in this table, just for the sake of this example. So search company criteria, we're going to use the domain, or even better, let's use the domain. And then we're only going to run this if the previous column told us that the company is qualified, right? So what this means is that this number has to be higher than, let's just change this number, otherwise we're not going to have enough companies. 5 people. I want the sales team to be at least 5 people. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use AI and sales team ad count must be higher than 5. So in this case, what we're going to do is so this conditional formula, essentially, we're telling this column only run, right? As you can see here, 4, it's not going to run. 6, it is going to run. 8, it is going to run. 3, it's not going to run. We're only, like, this conditional formula essentially tells the column only run if this happens, right? In this case, if sales team ad count is higher than 5, right? So that being said, we have our the tagma company enrichment. I want the company size. Apparently, this is the only number I can see. Let's just see if this is accurate or if it gives me a range. And then I also want let's just start with this. So we're gonna be able to find the ad count right here. As you can see, the column does not run. Yeah, it gives me the range. So I guess we'll have to work with the range for this time. There are other ways to find the specific employee ad count, and actually I can show you how to do that. But this is just just to show you. So enrich, by you doing enrich company, you're gonna do this with LinkedIn, and I'm just gonna show you how to do that so you can see. But basically, you have employee ad count right here and also range, right? So I'm looking for the employee ad count. I only want to run this for first 10 rows just to show you. So employee ad count here tells you the exact number of employees that you have on the team. So I only use the tagma just for a next criteria, which is going to be found in the last 12 months. Because by doing this, as you can see here, we go to the cell and we can see funded criteria, funding maybe, funding information. Yeah, funding rounds, funding total. As you can see, we've got a value USD last funding. This is going to be useful. This is actually what we need. We're going to do this last funding at. And then, okay, this is actually exactly what we need, right? So at this point, let's just use this. This is going to be our criteria, our column to find the exact employee ad count. And then we're going to use the tagma to find the funding information, right? So let's just use this. Obviously, I had to do the conditional formula right here. So sales team higher than, let's see if it works, higher than 5. Let's just run only for first 10 rows. It's only going to run if the sales team ad count is higher than 5, as you can see here, right? It's 4. It says run condition not met. Here, 0, 1, run condition not met. Perfect, amazing. That way, like by using this conditional formula, what you do is essentially end up saving credits because you can still run the enrichment for this, but it's not relevant because this company would be unqualified anyway. So might as well just run it for the qualified companies. So that being said, we have the employee ad count right here. Now I see there are some pretty high numbers right here. So let's just see if we can have all the companies, information about all the companies. 700. Yeah, again here, what I would do is I would change the number right here maybe do like 1,000, just so we have enough companies to work with for the next, pre-qualification criteria. Again, these numbers are just, you can change the numbers according to what a qualified lead for you is. So we'll do that. And then I only want to enrich the company. At this point, company size, I don't care at this point. I only want to enrich the company for the next criteria, which is funded in the last 12 months. If this is between, of course, 100 and 1,000, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a conditional formula right here so that the employee count is between 100 and 1,000, right? By doing this, we're only going to run the column if that happens, right? If we have the correct range. As you can see here, this is 1,800 people, rank condition not met because it's not in the range. Awesome. So we're going to run this for all the 500 rows. So that being said, we have our last funding ad information right here. So this tells me that the company was funded in 2020, 1st of December. And then let's see here if we find some other companies. 2017, I mean, these are all unqualified because of the last 12 months criteria. So yeah, not many actually. So again, we only have 500 companies in this table. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to change the criteria just to have some companies to work with for next qualification criteria, right? So let's just say that we only want companies that have been funded, right? Company must have been funded. Doesn't matter if, it's in the last 12 months or last 6 years. Of course, that's going to be up to you, up to your ICP and qualification criteria. But just for the sake of this example, just because I want to have some companies to work with for next qualification criteria, I'm going to do this, right? And then, so I only want funding to be here. So I only want this to be not empty, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see their industry, right? We only want these industries. So I'm going to copy this. And then I'm going to use Clayagent, which is essentially their sort of agent that goes, that can visit a website, that can visit a page that is publicly available, and can find and get information from the page, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Foro Mini because it is cheaper. I'm going to use that, and then what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to do the prompt, right? So basically what we want to do here is we're going to visit this company's website, domain, and read this company's description because we also have the description, right? Description right here. So that's going to be useful. And determine if the company or can be categorized as one of the following industries, right? Technology, SaaS, I think it will understand. Consulting services, enterprise B2B services. If so, I'll put the specific industry that's most relevant and describes this company, best describes company. So only output the industry and name and nothing else. Cool. If not, output false, something like that. So again, we're gonna have to create a conditional formula. So we're only gonna run this if last funding ad is not empty, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do double exclamation points, and then we're gonna put last funding ad. So this means it's only gonna run if this is not empty. Let's just run it for all. This should give a pretty decent idea to Clayagent on how to pre-qualify or how to describe the company. Yes, SaaS, as you can see, perfect. Because we gave it both the company website and also the description. So only one example. I was hoping to get more of these leads and more of these companies with funding, but whatever, we're going to work with one example. And then let's just get this data right here on the right, just over there. So industry, we're going to do this, create column. And then the next qualification criteria is going to be, they must be using a CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce. Where, I mean, there are not many examples for you to see here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this anyway. So we're going to have to use build with to find their technology stack, right? So by doing this, again, we're going to use the built with Clay account, cost to credit. We're going to use the domain, and we're going to want to find HubSpot or Salesforce. And then we only want to run this if this is not empty and this is not false as well. Because if you remember, in this column, we said if the company does not, is not in any of these industries, output false, right? So I want to make sure that this does not run if the output here industry equals false, right? So only run if industry is not empty and is not equal to false. Pretty simple. We're going to do this, and then we're going to find technologies found. Yeah, this. It should give me the match. So let's just run this, and it should give me the match if it found HubSpot or Salesforce. It should tell me that. But we're gonna no keywords. Okay, cool. So didn't find any matches as far as like HubSpot or Salesforce. So this will be unqualified. Okay, cool. We've got SaaS technology. Got a couple more examples. In this case, we found 2 keyword match. Salesforce, awesome. So what is this? Technologies found. This is weird, but we found Salesforce. So apparently this company is using Salesforce, and this company is using HubSpot, as you can see here. HubSpot Analytics, HubSpot Forms, awesome. They're using everything on HubSpot. Cool, amazing. Again, a couple more examples here. HubSpot, this one is using HubSpot. And then, yeah, cool. I mean, we can work with those examples. So last thing, I want to have a formula that tells me, okay, cool. After all of these qualification criteria have been done, I want a formula that tells me this company is qualified or this company is not qualified, right? So this is going to be pretty simple, right? If we've used conditional formulas correctly and properly up until this point, it's going to be pretty simple, right? If this is empty, then this is going to be an unqualified company. If this is not empty, like in this case, because we only have matches, so if there's HubSpot or Salesforce, this is not going to be empty. If this is not empty, again, this is going to be a qualified company. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a formula. No need to use AI in this case. We want to do if technologies found is empty, output unqualified. If technologies found is not empty, output qualified. Pretty simple. So we're going to have our output there, and then cool, awesome. So we got qualified, a couple more qualified people or companies. These are all companies, and then lots of unqualified companies that were, based on mostly their we disqualified them based on mostly their sales team account right here. So that makes sense. I mean, I didn't expect anything different. So once you've done this is obviously like the only pre-qualification table for companies, right? So you found the companies, you found the best companies. Imagine if you reached out to all of these 500 companies and scraped all the contacts of these 500 companies because you didn't know how to run this qualification table. You would have reached out to all of these, and 480 of these would have been unqualified, right? That's a huge waste of resources. So there are tools like Clay that allow you to create these tables and pre-qualify companies from the beginning, so you can save money on outreach, you can save resources, and it's just amazing. Like we got, I would say like 495 of these are unqualified, and then we're only going to reach out to like the 5 that are qualified. This is just amazing. Like, we're just saving tons of resources by doing this. So obviously, these are only the companies. If you want to find, so obviously the next stage is going to be finding the relevant contacts, and there we can make a video aside for that. But basically, what you want to do is you can use something like find contacts at company, and you can. So if you've run the clay table for all of these rows, I recommend you to save results in a new table because it's not going to use credits, clay credits, but it's not going to be recurring. So it's going to take these companies in the table that have been run, and it's going to do the contact search in a new table, right? Otherwise, if you want to have everything in just this table, then just do save results in this table, but it's going to cost credits, right? So we're going to do this just for the sake of this example, and then say that I only want, the head of sales, director of sales, CSO, stuff like that. I only want them to be in the United States, right? And then that's pretty much it. Maybe I want a limit of like how many people I want to find at a company. So like I don't want to reach out to more than say 3 people at a company, because otherwise it's just too many people will reach out to at the same company. And most importantly here, what we can do is we can set up the conditional formula so that this is only going to run if the company is qualified, right? So only if qualification status equals qualified, right? So we're going to find these contacts, CSO, head of sales, and director of sales, only if the company is only if the company is qualified, right? So here I just put the name just for the sake of this example, just to show you that we can find some people here. It's going to find the relevant titles, and then here found 2 people. We got one of them here. And then what you can do is, obviously this is one row for one company, but we found 2 people. So what I want to do is I want to create a different clay table, and I want to essentially get information about these people, get a valid email address, get maybe their LinkedIn profile, get maybe whatever other data I want from these prospects. I want to put them in a different clay table. So what I want to do is I want to take action on the list, and I want to write each item to a new row in other clay table, right? So what this is going to do is you're going to have to create a new clay table, and all of these contacts will be uploaded into the new clay table, and then you can make stuff with it. That being said, this is how you can pre-qualify or disqualify companies from the beginning using a tool called clay.com. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. If you're looking to outsource this because your team doesn't have the time to do this, because you just don't have the bandwidth to do this, or you don't know how to operate this entire system, we can do this for you. You can outsource this to someone like us who does this all the time, all day long. So we will build a cool average system that finds your best prospects, pre-qualifies them, scores them, and segments them into different batches so that we can send relevant cold email campaigns to them. We're going to book the appointments on your calendar, and we're going to nurture your prospects with conversion assets so that they're easier to close on the sales call. That being said, if that sounds interesting, feel free to book a call by clicking the first link in the description below. You're going to be redirected to my landing page. Feel free to book a call from there. I hope to see you on the call. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.